We had done an air sealing of all the open joints and cracks and seals, any place where we might get any air infiltration from the exterior. So once that was all done and set in place, then we were able to come back and start installing our insulation into the wall cavities. So the product we're using is a formaldehyde-free batt insulation, which is very important. We don't want to have anything that's going to create any type of off gases or anything else down the line that can inherit the air quality of the home.
We had all the material delivered to the site, and our installers, will go through and seal up by putting insulation in all the open cavities of the walls and ceilings. We started off with prepping the eave vents with the proper vents, which are the styrofoam chutes that are at the eaves, because you want to have good airflow up into your attic spaces. If you don't, you can have possibilities of mold and mildew growing up in the attic, and nobody wants that. After we installed the proper vents up at the eaves, then we can kind of come in and start putting in the fiberglass batt insulation, which was called out for on this particular project, which you can kind of see behind me is it's in between the wall cavities. And in this case, we put in an R19 fiberglass batt because we had 2x6 wall construction for the majority of the house.
A house this size normally would take a contractor maybe 3 to 4 days to insulate. One of our challenges, we have high ceilings and vaulted ceilings. So there's an issue that we're dealing with scaffolding, things like that. So we'll add a little more lead time, but other than that, the home normally this size would be done in a shorter period of time, especially working with batts.
This house is going to be very tight, but all houses are now becoming mandated by the federal government, by the 2012 energy codes, and they keep upping the insulation requirements of the house, which is a good thing to do, truthfully, because it, helps us consume less fossil fuels. Also, in addition to that, makes the house comfortable. I mean, we want a comfortable house, and if we have a drafty, leaky house, then it's not as comfortable. The biggest thing about insulation is you really only have one opportunity to do it right. And if it's not done properly the first time, it can cost you for the lifetime of the building. From an insulation standpoint, it might not be sexy, it might not be, exciting because, nobody sees it. It's out of sight, out of mind. Everybody wants to pick, the real expensive doorknobs and the cabinets and the, faucets that they see in a house. But those can always be changed out at a later time. Like I said, you only have one opportunity to insulate a house and do it correctly.
So basically, we've got open batt insulation for the garage because we've got our vapor barrier on the perimeter of the house. So, and our stud depth left us enough room to go with an R19 insulation because earlier we had done rigid insulation on the exterior house. So between the combination of the two, we're going to have a great performing exterior wall rating.
There are a lot of different layers in protecting a house, so to speak, to get that thermal envelope, where we might be putting, rigid on the outside of a building, then we might have Tyvek, then we might have the air sealant, and then we might have the insulation on the inside, and even the drywall to a function is another layer. So that overall layer of the entire building envelope is what really makes a well-insulated house.